Hey guys, so this is going to be my first furniture video, and today I'm going to be redoing this. Now this, I guess you'd call it a console or a sofa table. It looks like somebody already attempted to paint it, but they didn't succeed. So I am going to redo this, and I'm going to walk you guys through how I do. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I really don't like these, and they've been painted on, so I'm going to have to go in here and take these out, and also I'm going to end up putting some liner in these drawers. Okay, so now I have the hardware taken off the drawers. A couple of them broke when I was taking them off, so I didn't want them anyways, so it's fine. But I decided to go with the chiffon cream and the country gray for this piece. I'm using the Rustoleum Chalked Paint, which I love. I really like it. You know, there's more expensive chalk paints out there, but I found this one gives really good coverage. And it's also, you know, not that pricey. I get it on Amazon. I think it's 20 some dollars a thing. And now I'm just kind of wiping it down to get rid of any debris. Now, before we start, one thing I always have handy is a spray bottle with water, because this paint can tend to be a little thick. And you can spray it as you're painting to thin it out. I plan on distressing this piece, so the coverage doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. But I'll show you guys. See, it's kind of thick, but let's do the first few strokes here. You know, and that's why I like using chalk paint, because it is so forgiving. So you can see I've got it on there now. Let's say that's, you know, it's a little bit thick. So we just can squirt. And, you know, with chalk paint, a little goes a long way. So, and I'm just using a regular old paintbrush from Home Depot. I do have different brushes that I use for like these spindles, and I'll show you that when I get there. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this top. Okay, so the top is done. You can see it's wet. This is what it looked like before. And now, so the good thing is, once we get this bottom part done, that top will be dried. Chalk paint, well, it's kind of humid. It might take a little bit longer, but it's damp. You know, it's raining a little bit, so it might take a little bit longer to dry, but chalk paint generally dries pretty quickly. Like, okay, so I'm making my way across here, the bottom, and I'm just getting the bottoms of these. I'm not getting the feet just yet. But as I go across with my excess, I'm just kind of getting an initial just coverage on the bottom of those spindles. And then as I paint this, you can kind of tell it's thick. So I've just been giving it a little squirt of water and then just evening it out. But see how I have extra on my brush? I'm just kind of going around these, but you can see I'm gonna need more than one coat. But this is gonna be so pretty. It's like a cream color. And this is something that we found picky. So someone was throwing this table out and we found it. So it's gonna be super cute. I think I'm gonna give this to my son and daughter-in-law. They need a table in their entryway. So I'll just be distressing around the edges. I'm not gonna do a heavy distress. I am going to just probably do the edging. So the edging would include this here, right? And then the drawers, obviously the edges there. And then a little bit, you know, where on here, especially down towards the bottom, where it would get naturally distressed from time. So like around the top, I would just do this ledge right here. So you just want to distress it if you want it to be lightly distressed, just where it would get worn over time. And you can see this is starting to dry. You can see the dry spots. And chalk paint is matte, so it's not a shiny finish when you're done. Okay, so now I'm going to start the drawers. I wanted to show you guys, I'm using the Rustoleum Country Gray. And I wanted to show you guys the different brushes I was talking about. Now this one, it's a bit old, but it's angled. So this is good for, you know, getting into crevices, like if you have the spindles, you know, getting around those edges. This is really good for that. And then we have the round brush, which gives really good coverage. If you have a bigger piece, that it'll help you get it done faster versus this. Because this is only gonna hold so much paint. This holds a lot of paint. And these brushes wash clean with water. So I've washed the brush I was using. And I'm gonna use this brush on the drawers here. And I'm just doing it the same way that I did the other. So now I'm starting to distress. I'm taking 220 grit sandpaper, which is a finer grit, and I'm just going along the edges here. You see, I'm not doing it perfectly, it's just random, just like it would with age. So here's what I've done with the distressing. You can see I'm getting around the edges there, and then I'm scuffing up the spindles and the outside of the spindles, and then down at the bottom. And if you look over here, same thing. But what's really cool, when you have like depth like this on a piece of furniture, you can make it look really awesome. So like, look at the end here. See the panel? You can get in there and you can distress those crevices. And it gives it more definition too. And I've also got my knobs painted. These were just some old wooden knobs I had, and I painted them with chalk paint in black. Now we are ready to use a little bit of glaze on these drawers. And the glaze I get from my friend Jess, and she owns Treasures by the Sea. She's located in Florida, and it's seapaints.com. She has some really cool things, and you need to check her out for sure. She has a Facebook page, so if you want to see some of her techniques, how she uses this glaze, check her out. And she calls it sea paint. I also got this cool little brush for the sea paint when I got my paints from her. So I'm going to go ahead and use that on the faces of these drawers. It's a gray sea paint. So here's the drawers after using the sea glaze paint and then sanding it more around the edges and in the center of the drawers. And I like to do the center of the drawers because that's where your natural wear would come. You wouldn't over time really wear it out as much around the edges. So I like to do these edges and then in the center of the drawer, because when you grab the handle, you know, you're naturally gonna wear that paint out there first. You can of course do this however you want. That's what is so great about this, is you can, you know, customize it to how you want it to look. You can, you know, do it less distressed, you can do it more. You can layer paint. I mean, there's so many options. This is just kind of a basic that I'm doing right now. So you can tell the difference with the sea paint on it versus not. It gives it more depth. And I love the black knobs. So I'm going to finish the second drawer, put it all together, and show you guys the final result. The insides of these drawers were a bit ragged. It looks like someone had some candle wax melts and they put like kitty litter or something on them to soak it up. So I got as much kitty litter as I could out, and I had some burlap. I was like, what can I line these with? So I had some burlap, so I am staple gunning a burlap liner into the drawer. And then that will be a lot better than having the nasty kitty litter and ripped paper. So I'm going to continue lining these drawers with burlap. Do it as taut as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we just want to put something in here. You want it to be clean. Okay, now we have all of the burlap stapled down. Now we are ready to put our knobs on. All right, we're all done. So here's the final product. And if you remember in the beginning of the video, I said I was giving this to my daughter-in-law and my son. So they'll be coming to get it today. Great way to refurbish a free table. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below.